Steph Curry's shot chart. 2 games in Houston, and he's been okay.
Chef hasn't been cooking.
A lot of red outside that painted area. 17 points per game so far, but just 2 of 13 from three-point range. David Aldridge has more on Steph's pedestrian start.
It is a testament to the dominance that Steph Curry has shown on the court the last few years that the smallest of sample sizes indicating trouble, as in 2 of 13 shooting on three-pointers in the first 2 games of this Western Conference Finals series with the Rockets, causes alarm and panic throughout the Bay Area. Yet Curry and his teammates remain adamant that a course correction is as simple as Game 3 at home in Oracle on Sunday.
The consistent thing is I don't never lose confidence in myself when I'm out there on the floor. It's why I shoot the shots that I do. It's why I play the way that I play.
Yeah.
But beyond that, it's part of the game. I mean, I have high expectations for myself, and I know I've set lofty goals when it comes to shooting the basketball.
Yeah.
So if I don't meet that standard every night, there's going to be questions of why this, why that. But we're in the Western Conference Finals. They got to play well for us to get to that next level, and I know that. I think it's just they're switching. They try to interrupt your flow by just presenting the body at every interaction, every screen, whether it's on the ball, off the ball.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's what we've done for years, where you try to just to kill the flow.
Guys, there's nothing terrible about the overall numbers. 17 points, as I mentioned, 6.5 boards, 7.5 assists per game. The three-point range isn't great. Just hasn't been a Steph sort of offensive burst to this point. And Steve Kerr suggested that Curry might still be trying to find his rhythm 6 games back after missing 6 weeks away. What are you seeing?
I think a little bit is that Steph's trying to find his rhythm. He's a guy that missed a lot of time, and when you miss time, it takes some time to get back. It takes back physically, from a conditioning standpoint, and to find your rhythm playing with other great players. Secondly, we have to give Houston some credit. They're out-warriors the Warriors. They're switching every screen and roll, forcing Golden State to play one-on-one, and to a certain degree, Steph hasn't gotten a lot of the really good looks that he's been able to get against this team in the past, and I think that's played into it.
I think for me, what I see is what they've done to him defensively. I use a boxing analogy. When you keep getting hit with body blows, eventually it affects your legs and your chin. And I think what's happened to Steph is literally not every possession, but almost every other possession down. He's in a pick and roll where he gets hit. Then he's got to switch, and he's got to guard mano-a-mano physically against physical players. Like, they're not bailing out just shooting jumpers. So they're looking to attack him, make him work, affect his legs, and that affects your rhythm because he's so focused right now defensively that he's got to exert so much energy there that it then also takes energy for how they play offensively, right? Because they play a lot without the basketball. So I do think that there's strategy in terms of attacking him consistently, and they have a unique team in that they've got 2 point guards in essence, so they can both take turns and putting him in those situations. And if you're Houston, that game plan can't change because I think it does affect Steph in terms of from a fatigue standpoint on the other end. And so we expect him to play better at home. You know, I think Golden State will be a little quicker. He'll get a little bit better rhythm with the looks. But from a philosophical standpoint, I think Houston's going to continue to put that guy in pick and roll.
Yeah, they're not the first team to target him defensively, obviously, but Houston's a different animal, and he is still coming off the injury just 6 games ago. Meanwhile, true to Mike D'Antoni's word, the Rockets didn't change much strategically in Game 2, but they were a much more dynamic team.
Well, they did 2 things. There was more body movement off the ball, but more importantly, I thought they played faster. Meaning they didn't play the last 7 seconds of the shot clock, which allowed for, again, a great Golden State team defensively to load to the basketball. They attacked early in transition, early in the shot clock, before that defense could load and get set. They didn't allow Golden State the comfort zone of being able to lock in on the basketball. And even though they still play a lot of ISO basketball, there was a tremendous amount of ball movement, I thought, Brendan, in terms of how Houston implemented that game plan.
Yes, I thought the ball movement was a lot different from Game 1 to Game 2. They still played ISO basketball, but other guys got involved. Other guys got to touch it. I think there was a very telling possession in that game where I think it was like 6 or 7 passes made everybody touch it. They ended up getting, I think, a wide open 3 for Eric Gordon.
Yeah.
those were the type of possessions that weren't available in game one. You didn't see it. It was all one-on-one. James had a good game, but it kind of took away from some of the role players. Ariza, P.J. Tucker, some of those guys weren't able to get going. I think sharing the ball helped them out a lot. I also think what they did from an offensive standpoint, not turning it over. When they don't turn it over, it allows them to be a better ball club, and that helped them out also.
Felt to me like a complete role reversal of the two teams. You had the Warriors standing around and watching Kevin Durant a lot in game two, like the Rockets did in game one.
Yeah, and Mama Draymond didn't like that, you know. So in fairness too, I think if he's taking close to 30 shots, it does disrupt him from a rhythm standpoint, even though he's on, because you do tend to start watching.
It worked in game one, though.
It did.
It worked in game one.
They need 3 more wins, and I think they're a better team, more difficult to deal with if both Clay and Steph are a little more involved offensively.
Yep, and they weren't in game two. Clay, in particular, not good in game two. Game three coming up on Sunday. TNT's got it at 8 Eastern time.